Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 19, Week 5. Today, we're taking a look at the Gotham team, which is not the godlike Max, it's supposed to be the Lion Tamers, taking on Shenanigans, the Chon team, who have J-Bay standing in for them this week. And usually I would have either Randy or that guy whose name keeps changing every single cast here, but they both have the flu. So somebody else volunteered. Turns out he's goddamn sick too. It's Kai.
Hey, I was sick, okay? I am
Yeah, you definitely.
slightly less sick
You
now.
sound really good right now.
It's okay. This is my casting voice. It was all planned.
Yeah, you're just doing one of those big boy voices. Hey guys, today we're looking at Dota 2.
Yeah, this is my newscasting voice. Hello. It's jumpstarting my career.
Have you ever heard one of those like sports broadcasters that whenever they're talking they sound like this, and then suddenly they pick up a mic and it's like, okay everybody, so today we're going to be looking at, like, they do that big boy voice.
What?
There's a couple of like hockey commentators I know are like that. Well, I mean, I know of them. That's through osmosis through Randy, I will admit. Starting out with some, well, mostly traditional bands. The Shadow Fiend is interesting. You don't see that much right now, I don't think. Lena makes sense, Sneaks makes sense. The Clockwork has been surprisingly popular this season. Way more popular than I thought he would be.
I think
makes
Clockwork
sense.
is just in a really good place. It's really hard to lane against. If you go Cogs Max, it's super hard for the carry to like do anything in lane. You just have no mana all the time, even if you buy regen. And then it's also a pause for that initiates, which is something that's fairly rare, and you can see them banning out the Nyx as well, which does a similar role.
Yeah, it's interesting in that I think it's kind of the exception. Well, one thing I've been talking about this season, this is like a very meta over comfort season. Well, it has been so far. The patch might change things, but going into this season, that's a very quick Zeus pick, dang. Going into this season, it was, I think, a very meta over comfort season. Like a very bad player on something like, I don't know, if you have like a very bad Dawnbreaker playing into like a very good, I don't know, like Slardar or somebody else who's kind of like a mid or meh pause 3, even the bad Dawnbreaker probably is going to do better than the Slardar would. You know, the Lich, one of the poster boys for that effect, like a bad Lich, it's going to do better than a lot of like good pause 5s in this season. I think Clockwork's kind of the exception. I think even though he is meta, I do think you still do need to be actually good at him to like do anything.
Yeah, you need to be able to hit Cogs in lane. If you're playing the old like 3-1-1 clock, it's not particularly good. It's like okay.
But the interesting thing is that like LD2L has enough clock players that it was like basically the same deal anyway. I think every team this season has somebody who can pick it. Sean can play it. I think Midget has ran it a couple of times as well. Both of the supports on, well, at least Copless can. I don't know if I've ever seen Pages play much clock.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Midget usually prefers like the ranged supports, I think.
Yeah,
I don't
usually.
really think I've seen him play clock. I think Patience is more of a Venge Techies player from what I remember.
Probably going to be the Lich this time, if I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'm so glad Lich is like nerfed into the ground in the new patch.
I know, he's like the
Like
most boring
hero,
goddamn hero.
he's
It's just,
so bored to lane against. Like he just walks a lane and presses Q on you, and then he buys mangoes and presses Q on you more, and then you can't lane. It's like, huh?
he's so lame in
Cool.
draft too. 100% PB in pro games, 100% PB in LD2L. Like, get rid of this asshole. I'm glad he's gone. You know, it's like that really old meta where it was like Tiny and Enchantress, and you would legitimately see one of those two heroes every single game.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's gone.
Well, I'm just glad they added more skill expression to this kit. Like, the fact that you can't cast his Spire and his ult during your gaze anymore means that you actually have to like have fast fingers to get the combo off correctly, and then the the ult taking HP off your Charge Spire means that your damage doesn't scale as well into late game because you can't just like infinite bounce like a quarter dead do that after like 30 minutes.
I think the Chon team has a very interesting draft strategy so far, and I think it goes well with their team. One thing I've been constantly complaining about with this lineup is they keep throwing poor Coffee Cat, who's not here today. They keep kind of throwing him under the bus, just picking him out really early and getting him into the positions where he gets counterpicked, whereas usually, Carp is at least moderately favored in his lane this season. Danny should at least be status quo with most of the safe lanes. He isn't going to beat all of them, but I mean, if he was doing fine on the Doom last week, then at the very least in lane phase, that should be doing something, even if he just kind of fed after that. But, I think you could definitely pick those two guys earlier. You can pick your support line earlier. You don't need to be leaning on that P1. Of course, you don't necessarily need to pick your mid or your pos 3 like first like this, but I think you definitely have the ability to have this very aggressive opening with this team.
Not a good OD game. I don't know why they picked OD.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to spend this entire game afraid of Tiny. Like, I don't think there's any point in this game where that Tiny isn't going to be
you can
able
go
to flush him.
eggs, and then Tiny doesn't really kill you. But the problem with OD is like, this hero is good when you need a save against a prolonged disable, but Tiny just kind of kills your teammates before you can Asher them, and then his worst matchups are heroes that outrange him, like beyond his right click range, and you have Dark Will and Zeus who both do that, and it can just kite him forever.
Even when you get the eggs, you still have to be the one in the position of initiation, and you don't spawn with the thing, right? Like that. I feel like if you're in a position where it's like you need eggs to live as OD, you're not gonna have a very happy life.
I mean, like I don't know. At least when I play OD, and like most OD players I see will go eggs super early. It's usually a lot of players will go Witchblade eggs or Witchblade Lance eggs, because it's just the strong item. It lets you frontline, for your team, and because there's the strongest spell on it, it means that you don't like just die right afterwards, and because you're stunned, you can just walk away. And if you go blink after, you can blink out while the shield is up.
Yeah, I think the spec pick just made things even worse for old OD. It's somebody he can like squash with the ult if he gets into a nice compromising position, but it's also just another like you really don't like
buyer.
It's an early orchid buyer. It's somebody who is going to be pretty scary to him for a very large part of the game, I think. Like you're not a tanky boy as OD, right? You're going to have to dodge things with your imprisonment. And these are guys who you can get jump scared, you can get silenced, you can just get beaten down a lot of ways. I feel like we're going to see a lot of ODs fall out of this guy this game. It's going to be very dangerous. It's going to require very careful play, very good positioning. What do you think of the Bloodseeker?
It's just a meta pick.
Yep.
I don't like Bloodseeker into these supports. It doesn't really do anything. It's like okay into Tiny, I think, but like it's just a meta pick that scales well. If you get to like super late game and get a blink, then you're pretty okay against that lineup. Spectre is like an okay matchup. If you have barrier, you can man up to her. But I'm more concerned that right now Dire has like this double global lineup, and Radiant has essentially like a bunch of heroes that want to play like pick off, and so what's gonna happen is probably they're gonna split up away from their core trying to pick someone off, and their core's gonna get ganked by Tiny and instantly have +2 damage sources, and their carry's just gonna die.
Yeah, imagine if Dire had gotten that Neeks after all. Well, that's interesting. So it's gonna be support on either
Ember
the Tiny
into
or
OD,
the...
that's wild. What the fuck? Okay, well, this guy's like, I don't care about my lane. I don't care if my lane sucks. I'm just gonna pick this hero because it's comfort, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely the Carp Ember. Or it might be J-Bay doing it P1 because he's here, and it's gonna be like Spectre mid or something crazy like that. That'd be funny.
Spectre mid is even worse than OD though. I feel like
probably, but it's funny.
Oh, is this a particularly good Ember game? I mean, it looks okay. Bloodseeker isn't actually good into you, really, because Rupture doesn't work on you when you're remnanting, and then their only real like instant disable would be like OD Hex late game and like Lich Gaze.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't have great ways to catch him at the moment. They might make it a much worse game in this pick. And they didn't really. I don't think you care about that, man.
Okay, they have no disabled. I don't know. This Gotham team has a really hard to execute draft. They have like no real way to like if they don't come out lanes ahead, they kind of just don't have a way to kill people. Like they have 3 cores that all require setup to start, and their only setup is like Venge swap.
Yeah. They're going. Here's how fights are going to go for this Gotham team in my head. They swap in one of these 3 cores. They instantly kill whoever. Well, probably not Spec. I don't think you're going to get opportunities to do that to Spectre unless you get some like really good vision and some really good smokes. But like, you find Tiny, you swap him and kill him immediately, and then you better get out of town because like, what happens after that? You just get one pick with the VS, and then you immediately have to disengage against a team that's really hard to disengage against. That you get a Willow that's dropping crap on the ground. You got the Spectre with the global abilities, the Zeus who can hit ult at any time for Spectre and just give her somebody to jump on, basically. You know.
I don't
Very
know.
good
I don't
combo.
like Radiant draft. I think in LGTL, like because your coordination is not the best, you always want to draft like at least like 2 or 3 good stuns.
Not only is
'Cause-
your coordination not the best usually, but I mean, this is the, I don't know how much you're keeping track of this season, but this is the ship of Theseus of this season so far. It's replaced 2 of its members midstream, and you've also
okay,
got a scenario where a lot of your, like, normal players have been in and out. So, in other words, you're already, let's just say, not perfect coordination is probably not going to be any better courtesy of that. This is basically a new team again, right? Like, this is basically their, like,
are you okay?
new week
Sounds
1.
like you cut out.
Yeah, you can't hear that on the recording. That was just on Discord. Just having funny issues when it was loading in. By the way, you know what this thing is? This thing I'm hovering my mouse over? That's an
The
altar of
launcher?
radiant remembrance, of course.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, we on the we fight on Wednesday nights this week. We found out that the on old replays the Lycan wolves are called homing missiles.
I see.
Tempted go here up at the top rune. They run into the Willow, drop a few spells on her. Tyre gets in their face fast enough, they kind of turn around here. Which, I mean, isn't surprising. I guess it's not like they really have a great level 1. I mean, I guess it's
Okay,
no
I
worse.
swear to
Anyway,
God,
but...
supports all do this. PSA to all support players, stop buying 2 sets of tangles at minute 0. Like, you can just buy the second set after bounty runes if you really want to. Like, there's no way you're going through 6 tangles before, like, I don't care how aggressively you're trading, before, like, you get your courier out.
Speaking of aggressive, Carp with a bit of aggressive positioning there is going to get him first blooded by his old buddy Pages. Even a master falters. Rest in peace. At least he TP back in time to get a very small amount of damage on this person. I mean, my issue with the support, with the where was it? With the VS here, isn't the 6 tangos, it's the 0 skills. Like, how are you going to pick a support and then not have literally any skills to level, right? Like, that's
Wow,
useless.
that's pretty crazy. What the heck? Insane hero. Doesn't even need skills to be viable.
Old
Just
Wraith.
right click to death.
Old Skeleton King be like... Okay, now for the, that's for the benefit of people who weren't watching the We Fight on Wednesday nights. It's currently an issue. Well, I mean, it's going to probably forever be an issue with replays before the most recent update. With that all being said, it's time for the best part of the stream, the roll call. On the Lion Tamers, pause 1, you've got on the Bloodseeker, I believe full time. Pause 2, you've got Captain of the Team Gotham. I don't know if this is where he's going to be for the rest of the season, but it's where he's going to be right now. So you got the two boomers here facing each other. Pause 3, you've got Godlike Matt on the Bristleback. Pause 4, you've got Cobless taking a dirt nap. And pause 5, you've got multiple kills happening in the sidelines. Let's see that happening. Who even died there? It was the Zeus. Okay, just got chased out of lane here. And pause 5, you've got Peaches on the Lich. Wearing a nice donut hoodie. Like that Darkseer donut, you know? On the other side of the coin, shouts to the train. On the Shenanigans lineup, pause 1 standing in for Coffee Cat on team No Danny. You've got J-Bay on the Spectre. Pause 2, you've got Warcarp on the Ember Spirit. Pause 3, you've got, not this guy, US Danny on the Tiny. Pause 4, you've got Chon, captain of the team, on the Zeus. And pause 5, you've got the Mighty Midget boosting to 10k on the Dark Willow here. Whose courier just died, and now he might too? Bit compromising position. Bristle doesn't want to go for it. Not surprising, I guess. He doesn't have any mana left. He's got a Null Talisman queued up, which I really liked before they reworked it, and now I guess it's alright for Bristle very early. I guess.
Null's not a bad item anymore. It's 1 mana regen for your lane, and then it lets you build all stats.
Yeah, I mean like the previous version, the last before the oh, Tiny throw in the Zeus right on top of the Lich there, might get this kill. Yep, just barely got it.
Lich kind of turned around and killed herself, so
yeah.
This is I don't know. I think Radiant's lanes are okay. It's just mostly about what they're gonna do after lanes.
Yeah.
They also don't have the best way to get these towers down.
Yeah, that's true. This team has really no push until Bloodseeker is just like 6 slotted. I guess the VS damage buff helps with that a little bit. They're likely to get the Zeus again. It's not in the best spot. Yep. Going down there just under the shade of his tower.
Just not respecting the Bloodseeker. Like, they don't realize that this hero gets so much use when you're low. He doesn't even need boots. You just get run down and die.
Yeah, that's true, and making it worse for him, he didn't realize this, but Dark Willow was really low at the time as well, so he actually had 2 thirst stacks.
Well.
So it's kind of a hard thing to keep track of. It is one of the little X factor things that Bloodseeker gets in laning, is that it's very hard to tell when he's suddenly going to get a thirst, because it's not like you're going to be keeping track of that on your teammates. It's not like they're really usually going to be, you know the exact HP count they're going to be when they get thirsted anyway, right? So sometimes you can just suddenly get that moment where out of nowhere he gets that little extra bonus burst, and it's like, uh-oh. So far, mid hasn't exactly been going as he called it. The Ember Spirit's doing fine. It's only 4 minutes in, but...
I've been watching it to some extent. Gotham is not, like, understanding how the matchup is. Like, he keeps trading with this Ember inside the creep wave, and then he's supposedly winning these trades, but he's not, because he's taking a lot of creep damage in return.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Also, I can't see his skill build, but I'm assuming he's maxing Astro, and honestly... Like, personally, I think the better OD build is the Q-Max these days.
It's true.
It makes you, like, impossible to lane against after, like, level 4 or level 3.
So Gotham, if you did that build, shame on you. If you did that build, Kai thinks you should uninstall before you make J-Bay quit again. Okay, Willow, very low. Oh, just barely able to get into jail here. Is willing to give her life to get the second kill. Which is probably fine. Meanwhile, Bloodseeker getting another kill up bot. This Bloodseeker has been kind of eaten down here. He doesn't have...
I don't really know how Zeus is dying,
last
to be
hits.
honest. Like, I haven't been watching this lane, but in theory, Zeus should just save jump for whenever the all-in happens.
I don't think he has jump. I think that's kind of the problem. I haven't seen him do it yet, at the very least. Oh, he's going to come to do that thing that you can't do anymore. Luckily, that still works in replays, doesn't like desync.
Gotham down XP in this mid lane. This is a fucking disaster.
He's
like, it's
actually
so bad.
Likely about to die here. Nope, he got pretty far. The Ember Spirit pretty slow right
The
now.
matchup is actually like Ember favored after like a certain point. Like not in the sense that he can land against you, but he threatens a kill on you with like any +1 after level 6. So you can't really just like sit in lane.
Well, he just changed 2 creeps. Quite unfortunate.
Well, I just saw Zeus jump bottom, so it
Okay,
is indeed skill. He's just been probably jumping forward for the trade.
perhaps. But they did get the Bloodseeker there. In fact, let's see how that went down. So he's already been whiffled around a little. It's just, yeah, it's just like a straight go. Ironically, speaking of not respecting Bloodseeker, just kind of sitting in lane at very low HP for a while. They're trying to get it back on a wave he was being a little too careful with, and just ended up going down here. Which is pretty bad for him, actually, because he hasn't really been getting any last hits. He's been all kills so far. He's got the least last hits of anybody on the board.
Yep,
So.
lost a lot of XP from that too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So he lost a lot of money on that, he lost a lot of XP on that, and he really doesn't have anything to show for it in compensation. Though Antonio is being a little, he's being a little confident in this lane, to say the least. Just bathing in their jungle here at very low mana and half HP. Well, he tries to TP to get out and forgets that Lich can stop him from doing that. Gotham has showed up. He's dead out of this. No? Just barely not dead out of this. Gotham gets himself a kill.
Overkill on the OD ult there, but
yeah, maybe.
Secured, I guess.
What's Ember Spirit up to during this time? He was at home. Where's his remnants at? Nowhere. Dang.
Ember's a 13 last hits against an OD. That's so crazy.
And now he's going to come into lane and get a kill on this Bristleback. Who's the only core, it feels like, on this team is doing that great. So not a bet. Everybody, no, guys. Fellas, listen, this is a Spectre. She, like, stuns you. She's a support. Go for the funny Bristleback with no HP or mana.
Probably dead here. Yeah, he's probably dead. That's W max, right?
Nope.
Oh? He gets the bristle before he dies, though.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he is still dead, but yeah, he does get the bristle before he goes down. Then he gets.
I don't know why Matt stood there. Like, that's literally no reason to.
I don't know why everyone ran past the half-dead no-mana Bristleback for the completely alive VS. Very interesting.
They probably thought that they couldn't get the kill.
Maybe, but I don't know. I don't think that was particularly unreasonable with a... Bloodseeker, 32 HP, getting trailed by the Zeus, who gets him. Copless is TP'd in on this and actually dives too. Matt is in next, is just gonna sneeze at the Spectre, who says no thank you and leaves. Zeus with no mana nor TP is not likely to have the same option, and in fact OD has shown up with a haste rune to make sure that this Tiny isn't getting out alive. Oh, but the Ember Spirit's here, and this guy does mono damage. Goodbye to the OD. With really just phase boots too. It's just the level advantage there, I think, is big, and the natural hero advantage.
Ember just has a lot of base damage. It looks like he went for like the 440 build with no points in Flame Guard.
Yeah, it's typical for him. That's what he's mostly doing this season.
There's he's almost 8, so he probably has, what, 340? So that's like 300 something damage on the chains. And he has the double impact, so it's like around 200 something on the W. So you're looking at like 500 burst in addition to right clicks.
Yeah, he's got, and that is a man with 1,100 HP and not particularly much armor. They got the Bloodseeker under the tower here, thanks to the timely assistance of the Spectre.
A random rupture for I don't know why.
Random rupture because he's about to die and thought maybe he can get a kill off of knocking him around. And
Gotham, what the fuck, bro? Where's your Astral? Why didn't you just Astral save your boy?
Let's take another look at that.
He doesn't even get the kill. Oh my god, it's a disaster.
Oh, that's why Gotham didn't Astral save his boy, because he Astral the range creep to secure it.
Oh my god.
It's on CD. Poor VS. Should, certainly. I mean, you just said doesn't even get the kill, but oh my god, yeah, just barely doesn't thanks to a Lotus. And
yeah, you know how he could have gotten the kill if he had max OQ at this point, so it has no cooldown.
That's true. Spectre just walks in from top, gets an easy kill, and Carp is asking what you learned. Very interesting to see this team in the driver's seat in, well, to be honest, in any of these matches so far, considering how things have been going for them. I don't know if you're aware of this, but this team walked into this game with 1 win, and I don't mean a series. 1 scrim win.
Oh, scrim win.
Yeah, they beat Luth in a scrim, and then they beat Trash Boat 1 game. So they won 1 Trash Boat week 1, and then that was it. It's very interesting.
Oh, so
to see them
Trash Boats only lost in like the first 4 weeks. That's interesting. Gotham's dead again. Yeah, I don't know.
They lost week 2 too, didn't they? The Trash Boat team?
Weren't they like 7-1 before going 0-2 or something?
Oh no, they were on the bottom half of the scoreboard for the first couple.
Oh no,
of
not
weeks, at
Gotham
least.
team. Sorry, Trash Boats team.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Trash Boat team. They're second from the bottom of
Oh.
the scoreboard for a while.
Oh, sorry, I'm tripping. I was thinking about the Jason team.
Oh yeah, the Jasso team went 1-1 the first week and then didn't lose another game until last week. And then they got randomly 2-0'd by the Trash Boats this week, so that was interesting. So this team is not really used to being in the driver's seat. It's been pretty much bad for them for the most part for most of the season. It's interesting because I mean, the Spectre's been doing good, but I don't think the Spectre has been doing good in a way that Coffee Cat couldn't or wouldn't be. It does kind of feel like this is going well due to, like, the normal state of affairs on the chon team. I
think their draft is better, and I have no idea what the fuck happened there, because that was supposed to be like a hard win lane for them, and it became like a hard lose lane for them.
I think that's just the difference between having a dedicated mid player and having a guy who plays mid sometimes, if that makes sense. So this is gonna go down here. Warcarp's gonna hang around his body just to see if he can save him, but he just dies in the astral imprisonment. This OD is broke. See that net worth shark. Yikes. Barely doing better than the Zeus, who's not exactly doing great. You know, 3 and 4, it's not like he's stomping. He has 10 assists, but mostly pretty low value. The Tiny and the Ember Spirit, along with the Dark Willow here, going to go a little crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not the problem with like the Astro Max build. You just like don't have damage. It's the state damage for these like early fights. And then like you're really relying on your team being able to follow up off your Astro setup. But his team doesn't really have like burst damage. Like, what do you have to follow up Astro? You have like Bloodseeker W? Like, what the heck?
By the way, the neutral items in this game are sponsored by Schoolhouse Rocks. They're going to teach you about adjectives and nouns.
Oh wow.
Carp chain the creeps again, baby. Going for the quick Mage Slayer, not too surprising, just another sad thing for the OD, but also pretty bad for the Bristle, who's kind of like their only thing right now. Like, Bristle really doesn't like to have that Mage Slayer crap on him, right? Like, he likes to be able to, you know, do a lot of W damage, not very little, you know?
Yeah.
Very simple idea, make no mistake, but it's very true. You've got the Orchid now out on the Spectre. He was just gonna jump right on the OD
because,
and...
yeah. This is the
That was
problem
sure
with
fast.
the OD Spectre matchup. You literally just died at +1. Anybody goes on you, Orchid, you're dead. It's very unfortunate.
He's going to have to... Probably a Yules is the solution.
No, I
to
think
this.
you just go Force, probably, I think.
I think with this lineup, you just die on the Force anyway. There's too many +1s that ruin your ability to do anything with that, I think.
I think the problem with Yules is you come down and just kill you afterwards.
That's true.
like,
I mean, you're
come
screwed
down
either way,
and
but
you-
at least you waste time and give somebody the ability to move in, which I think
thing
is
is-
really the goal here.
Force becomes like a useful item later for OD, while Yules, like, Wind Waker is very situational on this hero. Like, it doesn't feel good to buy, but Pike, like, almost always feels good to buy.
I guess hypothetically true, but it's like at this rate, good luck even
But,
getting
like,
Pike.
I also would not have gone Witchblade at all in this game. I would have just gone first item Force, because it's such a bad OD game.
Probably. Yep, that's that Tortellini classic right there, I think. Not even done with it either. Is
Yeah, Witchblade is like a I'm ahead in lane. I will buy his items like and run you down for kills. It's basically just a waste of like 3,000 gold or like 2,600 whatever it is if you're behind because you can't actually use it.
Yeah, notably, not only did he not win lane, he is currently lower than the Zeus and dangerously close to being lower than the Dark Willow as well. He's making some skirmishing attempts here. Okay. They've swapped in the tiny, good fear bomb to... Okay, that's crazy! It worked! Oh my god! Oh my god! Alright, question mark in all chat. Least toxic US Danny behavior.
Dire's bottom tower has been
He still doesn't have max Q? What the fuck is going on? Did he take his talent at level 10? Like, how is this even possible? You go 4-4-1-1. That's fucking
He
max
did not.
Q.
He did not take his talent at level 10.
Wait, what? Then why did he just Q and then normal auto attack when he was farming that camp? I'm so confused. He just hogged it
They
off for
nerfed
shits and
OD when they
giggles?
weren't looking.
I don't know. I'm super triggered. I don't know what's happening. This OD pick looks terrible, and like as an OD player, like you should never be picking the hero that early in draft. Like I feel like this is like a solely like last pick or like after you see 2 cores kind of pick hero.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think that exact behavior is what is, I think, in large way, got Shenanigans in such a state. Because when Shenanigans has had fair games, even against like some of the top level teams in this season, they've been doing fine. Again, like the Spectre is doing good here, but I don't think is doing like considerably better than what Coffee Cat would be doing. Maybe a little, but not much, right? Like
I think Spectre just doesn't really have any like solo agency in the game until Manta Orchid, because it's really hard to solo kill people with just an Orchid.
that
So
is
it's mostly
true,
your
but
team setting up for her. So like that's why you probably feel like the Spectre is just doing like average things, but like the rest of the team is obviously playing super well around the map. And the Spectre
yeah,
is following up
that's
on
been
these
their
players.
upside. That's how they beat Luth all the way back in week 0 in that scrim they had against them. Is they had it's like the coordination factor. I think when this team is like all there, when they want to like win a game, when they're not, you know, winning lane as Doom and then feeding 8,000 gold to the enemy quap for literally no reason. This team does really well, coordination-wise. I'm not saying that to have a. I'm not saying that he's not exceeding Coffee Cat to have a go at J-Bay. I'm saying that's like how Coffee Cat does it. You know what I mean? He's not a bad player, not by any stretch of the imagination.
Spectre's also just super easy to execute with like this kind of draft because your other 2 cores are both jump heroes. So just one who goes on a support, you press R for a quick kill, and then you just go back to farming.
You also have a really good scouting hero. Well, really, you have 2 pretty good scouting heroes. Zeus, one of the best scouting heroes, first spec in the game. If you're ever bored, he just hits R and says, "There, now kill that asshole." And then you have the Dark Willow, who's able to, you know, go pretty deep, waste a lot of time against a team that doesn't have great answers to her, and this is one of those teams. Like, you know, yeah, she can hypothetically, like, get hit
Oh
by...
my god, he's buying Glimmer Cape on OD. What the fuck? Guys, don't buy Glimmer Cape against frickin' Zeus.
Well, the Sheik is you build it for the move speed burst, as well as the invis, as well as the magic resist.
Wait, this gets boost speed?
Yeah, it gives you a massive move speed boost, like 40 move speed or something.
Oh, I did not even know that.
Yeah, that's why it's Sheik. I think a lot of people don't realize it. I think it was Scroomlight who told me that Glimmer Cape was dead when they reworked it to what it is right now. This is Bristle, super dead. Speaking of super dead, this team fight is just a disaster for the Radiant. Like, this felt like a decent go, and now it's
They
just
have no
gone.
damage. They literally have no damage. Their only
Yeah.
damage is missile eggs. But like, what's he gonna try to fight with a naked Radiance in 20 minutes? He has no tank. Like, Radiant's the strongest hero because you get your eggs and your BKB, and you can stay in that fight for a really long time and have the Blood Rage Radiance burning people. But like, you just get exploded right now because you have a naked Radiance and something else. And then OD is fucking OD because he has no items.
Radiant structures are fortified.
You see, on the cast we call Kai the man of 1,000 questions. 500 of them are what's going on, and 500 of them are what is this build.
I mean, a lot of these builds aren't even that bad in a vacuum. It's just that like you have to take the context into account.
Man, this is so desperate. This play on the Zeus. Coppler just runs past the entire world trying to get this somewhat low-looking Zeus alone, and just gets found by everybody who's just still hanging out here. I mean, I don't know if it's a desperate play or a tilted play, if I'm being honest with you.
I don't know. Game's just really
one of
hard
the two.
now because like you're playing from behind against Spectre with double catch core, and then
I mean, even beyond that, you're playing against what is basically 3 proper cores that are all balancing all things. You're playing against what is basically 3 proper cores that are at the top of the charts right now. Like, any one of these 3 guys with this amount of money compared to what the enemy team has would be pretty scary to look at, and then it's all 3 of them. They just won all 3 lanes, right? Like, it's really rotten, really rough. I do think, so far, a lot of it just goes to the morale and to the lane phase. I mean, last week, especially... What was that?
sorry, I think your internet like cut out because but like
I think
it's
it was just
they have no
Discord,
map
yeah.
control, and they're gonna be very like nobody can show in lanes. You're gonna have no map pressure anywhere, so you have to get super creative. Your draft is not gonna play from behind because you don't have instant wave clear. You don't have an evasive hero that can just like. push.
Oh, they got Danny
getting
here.
caught
He's
mid.
almost certainly dead, yep. That's a wicked 6th streak that just went right into Bloodseeker's pockets, which has at least allowed him to pull well ahead of the Dire support line. That's good. That definitely can be a problem. I think that's been Danny's like main problem this season, has been just getting himself out of position and getting himself these points where he's just gonna get randomly exploded. I mean, these guys have very bad catch in the context of a team fight, but not in the context of like one guy. They can handle one guy just fine.
I think after they take the tower, Matt has to just play super aggro and like cut waves in aggressive positions, and then I don't know. It's just hard because
Well,
you don't have like a support. That can-
Right now, we're looking at Bristleback just getting run over here under the tower. That guy looks like he means absolutely nothing. The TP right in on the Lich for the disrespect.
Yeah, like when you're behind, you kind of just like have to get a kill and then get your lanes out.
Yeah, get your kill, be
he-
fine with it. They tried to go and get the T1, which many years ago would be the right play, but not anymore.
Well, if they had like actual tower damage to kill this T1 before the enemy team respawned on the tiny, then like you can go for it. But it's their draft lacks so many things. Like they don't have like good wave clear. They don't have a good tower hitter. So it's just if you don't win your lanes, it makes the game super hard to execute.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Like I
Pretty
would like to
much.
see the Bloodseeker just like TP the portal and then farm Dire like top area jungle, and then like Bristleback can like run around and try to go cut waves or something. Like maybe cut mid wave for the creeps to eventually kill that tier 1.
Dire's
There you
top
go.
tower is under attack.
It's always scary too. I mean, the thing about like the Bloodseeker farming the Dire side in this particular game isn't even perfect because you got that Zeus World Lightning on you. If he just gets a
Yeah.
wild hair, decides, you know, I haven't seen Bloodseeker in a minute, and hits that, you go squish real quick
Well, I think you need a
afterwards.
hero there. I don't think. Actually, I don't know. Maybe Second does have enough damage to slow kill him at this point. But
Yeah, she's got Orchid, she's got Mantis Style, she's got Bloodthorn coming in very soon. And beyond all of that, that does immediately follow up as Ace World Lightning. Check it out, it's Dota _wind _waker _tornat.
also, I guess like this isn't relevant anymore because Bloodseeker eggs got changed. But
Dire's middle tower
please
is
never
under
buy
attack.
Eternal Shroud on Bloodseeker before you buy eggs. Like the whole point of buying Shroud is you reduce the egg self damage on yourself. So like buying it before eggs is just a worthless item. You might as well just go
Dire's
BKB.
middle tower is under attack.
That's weird. Everybody, I feel like everybody should be doing Roche, but I'm looking at Roshan right now and nobody's here. Huh.
Roshan
Oh
has
well,
fallen.
Roshan appears to have died
Yeah, but I'm
mysteriously.
still looking at him. That's super strange. I have a feeling you're not looking at the screen share.
I am looking. That Roshan is the one that grants a shard. It's a different Roshan, you know.
Oh yeah, he's like the second Roche, yeah.
He's Roshan 2.
Yeah. Speaking of shards, Tiny pulling one on. Lich bravely standing in front of everything here, and that happens to her. Oh no, my OD moved in to try and help. The VS is going to try and save her, but that was like a 6-inch swap, so no dice. The damage gap is intense. It's like really bad. Like this is a lineup like I was talking about earlier. Like all these guys are pretty good scaling cores on the Dire. Like you really, it would feel bad if it was like I don't know. Like it would feel bad if you were right here and you had Spectre with like I don't know like a Pit Lord or something. You know, somebody who doesn't really scale that well. But it's like, okay, you know, you've got the guy who was like the face of carry heroes for like 4 years in Tiny. You've got the guy who's the face of carry heroes right now in the Spectre. You got the Ember Spirit who, you know, people have historically occasionally ran as the P1, right? Like this is very meaty,
Yeah.
guys. It feels like losing this much gold, losing this much ground this quickly
Well,
made this
it looks
matchup
like
feel like a total non-starter.
Bloodseeker heard what I said and is going for the BKB instead, retroactively, straight up back in time. But I don't know. Is this Bloodthorn finished? Yeah. The Spectre just like instantly kills anybody they go on now, and so does Tiny actually, because Tiny has Echo Saber plus Conda.
Yep. Here is the bristleback, and it
uh,
again just dies instantly. It just feels like nothing.
You don't need a break if you just kill him instantly, you know?
Yep. Again, a lot of resources to try and save. Oh no, Zeus mistimed that. A lot of resources to try and save the Lich, to save the Lich. Doesn't really work in their favor. Danny does massively tower dive all the way back to T4s though, so now they gotta turn around. Just going absolutely nuts there. Nobody was even close to the Tiny there.
They got a bit too ahead of themselves.
Yeah.
It's okay. They probably still get this tower, maybe. Their tower damage is actually not amazing without the Tiny. The Tiny's like
Everybody, they're so low level on Radiant, they're all going to be up by the time they get to push again. That's so sad.
Yeah.
So they're just going to have to walk away now.
Okay, Spectre's buying, what is this, Silver Edge for Bristle? I don't even think you need it.
No, absolutely not. Yeah, that's just like a total luxury. It's going to save you 0.8 of the 1.8 seconds it takes to kill the guy.
I mean, I don't know, I guess it kills Bloodseeker? You can break his move speed, question mark?
It's a, it's I guess a proactive thing, because if Bloodseeker starts to come back, that'll matter, I guess.
Oh no, because if Bloodseeker comes back... Oh, okay, I was gonna say, if you would much rather have a Nullifier for Bloodseeker if... He's what you're worried about.
Yeah, probably. I don't think a Nully this game in general will be that bad of an investment.
Oh, it's going against Lich. Doesn't really do anything. I mean, Renge is a Glimmer. It's just, like, Bloodseeker gets this game ruined by Nullifier because it purges his barrier on his eggs, and it also purges his Blood Rage. So he loses, like, 20% of his damage. It's super brutal.
It purges the Force Staff off of the OD, and any Yules anybody might be purchasing or thinking about purchasing as well.
Oh, this is the saddest OD I've ever seen.
Good, to be even
Oh,
sadder.
and he's dead. Holy
That
shit.
was the saddest OD you've ever seen.
I don't even think you should be going BKB. You just gotta go eggs. If you go BKB, you're just gonna die a tiny combo like that. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a BKB, you're not gonna get it off.
Yeah, it's kind of an issue I was thinking about with this OD earlier, is like, you know, unless you're ballin', you're going to be fragile enough, or even your defensive items, like, you're not going to get it out in time. You just get, if you get jump scared, you're just gone. As simple as it gets. BKB is out for the Bloodseeker, got it from the proceeds from killing the tower diving Tiny. He's actually kind of working his way back up the board here, has passed up the Ember Spirit. It's about to walk into
He's
a
a lot more
lot.
gold.
Never mind. Bye-bye, La. Everybody just smoked right
You
on
just
him.
instantly cast a curse to him. You're like, yeah, he's doing well.
I didn't instantly caster curse him, Kai. This replay's from 6 days ago.
You retroactively cast a curse to him, you know?
There
Just,
we
like,
go.
Straight from, straight back in time. It's so strong.
Yeah, I just I just called up my homeboy a coup. I sent law 5 days into the future where my evil is law.
Wait, he actually listened to what I said, like from the future, bro. Like, look, he has an axe queued up
Yep.
now, and he's gonna finish his axe before buying this Eternal Shroud.
He really did, yeah. He just had it there to
Crazy.
scare you.
Yeah, I don't know. He needs a lot more net worth. Like, I feel like this hero does not outcarry Spectre at equal net worth.
No.
So the fact that Spectre's top net worth right now is quite concerning.
Yeah, he doesn't outscale the Spectre at equivalent net worth at any point, I don't think. But it's like he's not really that far ahead of like the Ember either. You know what I mean? And Ember is also
He's
ahead
not
of him.
that ahead of the Willow for that matter. Like, if you look at the net worth chart.
Oh, I mean like even at like equivalent cash, he's not that far ahead of the Ember, right? Like that's not to the point where the Ember's gone if they have equal money, certainly. And Ember's also there, you know. It's just rotten. J-Bay with the no detection special, cheater.
What the? Do not run this. He's gonna like two-shot you. What the heck? Yeah, this is the problem with BQB. Like,
Oh my god! Look at Mac get destroyed by the Spectre illusions. Oh no. The wow, the VS just splatters just to the 3 and under club, no less. The VS just splatters. What the herald was that?
well, Tiny has more net worth than his Spectre, so I don't really
True.
know if 3 and under really means anything at this point.
Yeah, that's true. It's purely academic anyway, but still. Oh, the oh my god! Did you see OD just save the Ember Spirit from the Bristleback Axe?
Yeah,
Not like it really would have mattered, but still. Oh my god, Luz so fast! He's so dead too! Jesus Christ, call it Geist.
Really, this game's
What?
over, right?
What? Weren't you in the Call It Geist game, actually? I think that was the team you had with them.
The what?
That game where in group stage, Vex was like, or Geist was like Call It Vex, and then in the bracket, Vex was like Call It Geist. I think that was your team.
That was a long time ago. That was like
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
played with like London and Vex.
Oh, that was the London and Vex team. Okay.
That,
Are you sure? I don't think Geist was in that season.
Who was it in that season?
I think that was the team with Mekkel, Geist, and Limaf. That team. I think that's when that happened.
Oh, well, that's a different team then.
One of your favorite of all time.
That team was a disaster.
That team is almost as
It-
good as your season 13 team.
Well, okay, that team is a perfect example of how two people having personal issues can destroy like what is on paper a good team.
In fairness, the season 13 team was kind of also that. It was just two people having personal issues that you secretly didn't know about because I kind of tried to keep it under wraps. I'm
Well,
not
I
even
think the
looking at
problem-
them. You can tell what's going on at this point from just how people are dying, right? We're just gonna watch Willow secret, just you know, casually
fucking
knock down this range tracks.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, this game's felt over for like 20 minutes. As soon as they like lost their lanes, nobody was like more than their fucking Zeus. Like this game felt so impossible.
Once again, the invisibility is invincibility, as they say.
Yeah, Valve, please nerf Glimmer. I don't know why.
Yeah, it got
enough.
untouched. That was crazy.
But like, how are you gonna go here and nerf Juggernaut of all heroes and not touch Glimmer Cape? Like, what the fuck, Valve?
Yeah, just a reminder, you get you get invisibility, the 300 damage magic barrier, 40 move speed for 5 seconds, and the
It's
wearer also gets
1900 gold.
25%.
Like, what the fuck? Oh, it's 2100. My bad.
Oh, Bloodseeker got the Shrine of Wisdom. He really is in the future. Ember Spirit, Inspector are just running these guys right over. It's a massacre.
Are they gonna
God,
call
like
it? Okay,
Matt
Matt
calls it, and we're going home. And Carp dies one more time to the fountain. Never mind.
Radiant's top barracks are
Yikes. I mean, I know this is going to be a funny thing to say when there's a stand-in, and I know there's probably going to be some people who are not going to like me saying this, perhaps. But yeah, this is like this is what this team should have been. Honestly, like this is what this team should have been doing since all the way back in week 1, and we saw pieces of it in the pregame. Game client is out of date. Don't worry about that. I don't care. This is uh-oh. Oh, buddy, it's just show. Okay, there we go. Okay. Whew! Thank God. It was just OBS had to update there. But, yeah, I think this is really the team of Shenanigans we should have been seeing from week 1. I think this is what they had the potential to always be. And I think the two big things we saw in this particular match, at least, are the morale and the draft, right? Like last week we just saw Danny, who was just clearly didn't want to be there at all, just blundering into guys, like losing thousands of gold after he stomped all over his lane, right? For no reason, like just taking the most dangerous camps he possibly could, just playing like an asshole in a very easily winnable game, which basically like buried the rest of his team as a result. Um, you know, you've seen definitely these games where these guys have just gotten in their own head, said, I don't want to be here anymore, and just been done with it. But then on the other side of the coin, you know, in this match, everybody is trying the best they can, and it's a very different game. The coordination factor we saw in those first few matches kind of comes back. When these guys want to win, the game looks like this. And I think the bigger news is the draft, which just looks a lot better. Like, you just draft like this when you have Coffee Cat, and things look good. Like, this is a very reasonable comp for their team. I think it did. I think everybody is on a hero that matches their playstyle very well. Of course, you got the Willow on the Mighty Midget, for example, right? Like that's very good. Um, Everybody's on a hero that complements their style pretty well. You got the you picked in an order where nobody was like answered to a reasonable degree when they needed to be, right? Like I think if you take this draft strategy and use it on the Coffee Cat version of the team, then you're going to start seeing results like this. I mean, this is like a really big upset. This is probably like the 3rd or 4th place team, reasonably, and they just dropped a match like this to the guys who've been at the back of the pack. And again, I know some people are going to be like, "Oh, JB Sandbag, look at this little badge by the Spectre." I honestly believe that. Like, it's not like he's a bad Spectre. I just don't think he's like any different than the Coffee Cat Spectre, and he still got this result, right? Like, that's pretty much how it goes. What do you
Well,
think?
I mean, the difference is that J-Bay makes Danny's mental like 10 times better, and
Yeah,
Coffee
maybe.
Cat makes Danny's mental like 10 times worse. So,
Ooh.
yeah, there's your problem.
Damn, what's this secret Danny Coffee Cat feud I haven't heard about?
uh, it's like I don't know. Danny just doesn't like. He's like a very like he gets along with certain people kind of deal.
Yeah,
And I think like
yeah.
I think like once you get into like the tilt side of his books, it's very hard to make a recovery. And I'm assuming like the early games this season probably had some kind of effect on him.
But it's very strange, because, like, Coffee Cat was, like, balling in the early games this season, so I don't know what the hell it would be about. I don't know. We'll see what happens next time.